When I found out my wife was seeing another man who also had a family, I didn't scream or break things. I didn't even cry at first. Instead, I reached out to a kind person who could help me find the whole truth. By the time it was all over, the man she was with had lost his marriage, his job, and his home. He ended up with a broken nose. If you have ever felt the deep hurt of being lied to, you know how it feels when your world falls apart. This is a story about finding peace by making sure everyone faced the things they had done. It was a very hard time for me and my family. The signs back in the early 2000s, I was a father to 2 small children, aged 4 and 6. They were the sweet little ones I loved more than anything. Slowly, life started feeling very strange. My kids often talked about spending many days at their grandparent house. They lived far away, so visits were rare. Suddenly, they were going there 2 or 3 times every week. Since my wife worked part-time, it didn't make sense. When I asked her, she said everything was fine, but her eyes were hiding a big secret. I felt a cold knot in my stomach. I started tracking the miles on her car. Every week, there were 400 miles I couldn't explain. She wasn't just running errands. She was driving somewhere far away from us. Hashtag the evidence one day. I found a computer password on a little sticky note. I logged into her email, and what I saw broke my heart. There were so many messages between her and an old boyfriend from high school. They laughed about their secret and even made fun of the man's wife. I didn't shout. I kept a secret. I simply printed every email and kept them in a safe spot while I stayed quiet and waited. A kind friend introduced me to Ron, a retired officer who helped find the truth. I gave him the emails and her schedule. Within a week, Ron found everything. He had photos and a list of every time they met. The routine was simple. She would drop our kids off, meet this man, let's call him Bob, for lunch, and then go to a motel for hours. After that, she would pick up our kids and come home like nothing was wrong. Bob was a very important leader at his wife's father's company. He had 3 children and a perfect life. He had everything to lose. Hashtag the action. I knew I had to be smart for my kids. I hired a lawyer to help protect them. I didn't want them growing up in a home full of fighting and anger. While my lawyer worked, I planned my final move. On the day my wife was given her legal papers at work, Ron went to Bob's house. He gave Bob's wife a folder full of photos and emails. She was a strong person. Within 2 days, she took the money from their accounts, took their children, and told her father everything. Bob was fired from his job right away. He was even kicked out of their house. When Bob tried to beg for another chance, his wife's brother used his fists, leaving Bob with a painful broken nose. He eventually disappeared from the area. Hashtag moving on Bob's ex-wife eventually took over her family's business. I finished my divorce and focused on being a good dad. My children are grown now, and I have no contact with my ex-wife. She chose her path, and I made sure the truth caught up with her. Bob thought he could break my family and walk away. He was wrong. I believe that being honest is the most important thing we can do. Sometimes the quietest way to fix things is to let the truth come out and let people face the lives they built. If this story touched you today, please share your thoughts.